Well, look at that. Welcome to Weeb News, the segment where we bring you all the most relevant news in the Weeb world. And what better way to start this new segment than with something that is not even considered anime, but is anime adjacent. So I'm going to talk about it because it's actually very quite important to me. So the Netflix live action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender, again, technically not anime. Like Avatar is not anime, but it's the closest thing to an anime that I can think of. And I, even though I'm wrong, do consider anime. I'm wrong, by the way. I recognize it. Regardless, Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the most beloved shows that every time you go to an anime convention, you're always going to see Avatar: The Last Airbender fans. Like it's just like dirt inside your nail. An anime with Avatar: The Last Airbender is just like this, like cohesive junction of nice sweat and tears that bond together with love. So, um, I wanted to do a reaction to the trailer that came out not too long ago. But I didn't have my recording equipment, so I didn't do it. And it looked really good. I was very excited for the series. And then my brother told me that they were not going to be doing they were not going to be talking about Sozin's comet on the first season, and I was like, why wouldn't you talk about Sozin's comet? Since I mean, it needs to be established that this is the threat, this is the danger. So Sozin's comment must be talked about. But I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. Today I got hit in the nuts with this article right here. Avatar: The Last Airbender star Tio says Netflix adaptation took out how sexist Sokka was. Now, if I was optimistic before, now that I know that they're not gonna be talking about Sozin's comet, and now that I see this, I am extremely worried. Like, insanely worried. Beyond worried. And to be honest with you, not optimistic at all anymore. I'm really not optimistic at this point because was Sokka very sexist in the show? Yes, 100%. He was incredibly incredibly sexist. He was um but this is the point. He was very sexist, but not but out of ignorance. He wasn't sexist because he knew what he was doing and what he was saying. He was just ignorant. And it was very important for him to be sexist and ignorant because as we progress on the show, he learns not to be. He learns a better way and he becomes a better person. That is called character development. You cannot have a character learn something without giving him something to learn. So Sokka's growth throughout the original animated series was about this egocentric guy who thought he knew better than anyone and got humbled repeatedly. And even though he didn't have any powers, he made himself useful to the team through his intelligence, wits, and open mindedness at the end, where he became a completely different person as the way he started. Like it makes me think of Rey from the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. Rey never was weak. She never was weak. She never failed. So she didn't grow. She's one of the worst characters I think Star Wars has ever had. Even worse than Jar Jar Binks. So and it comes like a huge root of it is because she never grew. She was unattainable. She was unrelatable because she was so insanely perfect. She didn't have to learn anything because she knew it all already. So here we have the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series, quitting the Netflix shows due to creative differences. And now that I hear that they're not going to be talking about Sozin's Comet on the first season, made me kind of raise my eyebrow a little bit. Like, this seems to be like maybe, okay, let's give him the benefit of a doubt. Okay. But now that I see this, let's read a little bit. Kiawentio, I hope I'm reading your name right, is teasing the live action Netflix adaptation of Avatar The Last Airbender and is revealing some key changes to Sokka. When adapting the animated series into live action, the writers chose to remove the sexist elements of the character portrayed by Ian Ousley. There's no more weight with there's more weight with realism in every way, Ousley said in an interview with EW about the remake, with co-star Kiawentio chiming in and adding, I feel like we also took out the element of how sexist Sokka was. I feel like there were a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy. Ousley continued, yeah, totally. There are things that were redirected just because it might play a little differently in live action. So, I mean, one of the moments that makes me think about this is on the first season when Sokka arrives to the Kyoshi Island where he meets the Kyoshi warriors. And he says stuff like, women are not good warriors. Women are just like made to pretty much just like be in the kitchen and like gardening and shit. Like men are the warriors. And what happens? He gets humbled by these women, by these like strong independent women, showing him that no, women can be warriors too. So he gets a reality check, and it is vital for his character development in the future. So if you're going to remove one aspect of Sokka that is, in my opinion, vital for his character development, I'm gonna be very worried about the rest of the characters. Because one thing that makes Avatar The Last Airbender so great is how relatable the characters are. And why are they so relatable is because they are flawed, because they're human. They resemble who we, the real humans, are. We are flawed. We make mistakes. We lie. We cheat. We fail. But we make people happy. We protect. We try to be better. We fall and we get up. All of this amalgamation of different things is what makes life rich and what makes others relatable. And when you have a character that is relatable, you know what you have at that moment? Let me give you the answer if you haven't guessed it. When you have a character that is relatable, you care. And when you care, you watch. And when you watch, you support. And when you support, there's revenue. Period. So Star Wars lost my interest as well as many interest from other people, because we couldn't relate to the characters. Same thing happened with many other series and movies that have come out. When you don't have the support, you don't have our money. You don't have the view. You don't have the like. You don't have the comment on Twitter or on YouTube or the theories or anything. And that's how the franchise dies. So, Avatar The Last Airbender is about to take a huge toll, I believe, with this because it can boost its popularity again, or it can 100% deter a lot of people from watching it, and this the cartoon might be affected by this, where new generations are not going to give it a try because this is going to tarnish it. Am I saying that that's what I think is going to happen? I don't know. To be honest with you, no. I was very optimistic about the series. I was actually very excited. The trailers looked good. The music was on point. But this in particular, it's making me incredibly worried. Very. Now, am I saying that this is all wrong and this is like the woke sexist agenda, yada yada? No, that I you guys know that I hate the word woke. I think it's a stupid fucking word. But I am concerned with how they're going to approach this character. Now, I know that they're removing the sexism to not offend people, perhaps. Most likely that's the reason. And I think it's absolute bullshit. I think people need to be offended more often and they need to be challenged. And removing this key vital element of this character will be a hindrance in his growth. And I just hope that the series is very good so everyone can enjoy it and we can have a fantastic time watching it. But all I'm saying at this very moment, right now, as I'm recording this video, I am very worried and not very optimistic. The success of One Piece came because the creator was heavily involved. The creators left because of creative differences. Take that as you will. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you later. Bye.